Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Football Philosophy Podcast. And with me today is Mr. Yours truly, Trey, Mr. Instagram, the big promoter. What are you saying, Trey? You good?
I'm good. What you saying, Mr. Philosophy? We've got a special guest, man, as normal, man. We've got the main man, Mr. Napoli, Mr. Know-It-All, Mr. Serie A. We've got Moose.
Yes, Moose. Welcome to the show.
Yes, boys. Thanks for having me.
Come on.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, man, as always. And listen, this is the European show. Like, this is the Euro channel. We're talking everything to do with European football. And we're going to get into the Super League, and how, like, what you guys are thinking about it. What, is it the right thing to do for football? Is it the right way? Is it the wrong way? What kind of impact is it going to have on the game? But yeah, before we do that, let's get into the games that we just watched this weekend. Some beautiful games all around. Moose, you were just watching Inter playing Napoli. What did you think about that?
It was a great match in a strange way because it was a bit like chess. It was very balanced, so it was a very even game. The point was fair, 100%.
A point was fair, yeah. Absolutely. So how did you see the goal? What a joke of a goal to concede that was from Inter Milan. Like, it's just, it reminded me of Fabianski's mistake yesterday against Newcastle. I don't know what's going on with Handanovic. He's been getting better, but now he's back to making these kind of silly mistakes. But for Napoli to get this point, after we've seen Juve drop points against Atalanta, and deservedly so, how big is it for Napoli now?
There's still 7 games to go, so the next game is vital against Lazio. That's going to be crucial because Lazio actually go above us if they win. So we have to eliminate Lazio from this top 4 battle. Roma are already eliminating themselves, losing today to Torino 3-1. So it's tight between the other teams, yeah. But Napoli against Inter tonight, I enjoyed the match, but I think that we could have gone for it a little bit more. I think we played a sort of... We respected them. We showed them respect and I didn't overcommit our bodies. So that's where the point come in.
But do you think that was the right approach by Gattuso? Because if you think about it, what Inter Milan do to opponents is they let you just, they suck you in and they make you think like you can attack them and then they hit you on the counter. For Gattuso to actually manage this against the best team in Italy right now, a team that has been on 13 games winning run, absolutely unstoppable. It's a huge point for him at the end of the day, yeah?
Yeah, no, we'll take the point away. We'll take it, definitely, especially with Juve losing. We're only 2 points from them now as well. And, Gattuso deserves credit for that, to be honest. But my stance with Gattuso anyway. If he gets top 4, I would definitely keep him on because he's had injuries to deal with and fresh players coming into the team. So we just got to keep fighting away. After Lazio, we've got a decent run of games. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and for Atalanta, that was a huge win. Like I said before, a deserved victory for them. This guy, Gasperini, again proving why he's one of the best tacticians. He's just one of my favorite coaches right now in Italy. And he has been for a while. And, you look at someone that he lost his captain, his leader, and it doesn't even look like they're missing him. What did you make of that game, Trey?
It was a tremendous performance by them. It was deserved. At the end of the day, they produced the goods. Juventus obviously didn't have the main man, Cristiano Ronaldo, but at the end of the day, it's a great result for Atalanta, and I definitely feel that this will give them enough momentum to push on for this top 4 race. This race is just exciting. There's there's so many teams that's in this race. But for me, I don't know, man. I've got a good feeling about Napoli, man. I think they'll do the job.
Yes.
You know what though? What you were saying about Gasperini, I was thinking about it earlier. I was thinking the manager that Juventus need is the one they just lost to today in Gasperini. Him with Juventus, they would become a different animal. What do you guys think about that?
Absolutely great
100%.
shout. Great shout. I'm all for it.
Absolutely, that's a great point.
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, I would even go another step and say bring in Fonseca from Roma. Like the guy is being disrespected at Roma. The way he plays football over there, yeah. Oh man, I love to watch his team, and they play against United in the Europa League. So the English fans are gonna get to see exactly what this guy is made of. The way he plays football from the back, and the way he's attacking. Roma at one point this season were one of the best teams in terms of chances created. In the final third, and you were talking about playing with players like Mkhitaryan, Pedro, Dzeko, like just all the Premier League players. And Vertua is looking amazing this season, like 12 goals, even though a lot of it was from penalties. And also he's having to do this without Zaniolo, and Pellegrini was missing most of the time. So I don't know what you guys think, or if you agree with me or not, but if they can't get Gasperini, they should go and get someone like Fonseca and not go back to Allegri.
Yeah, that's definitely a better fit for Juventus. They need new ideas, not the old ones. Another manager who should come into like contention is De Zerbi from Sassuolo. And Roma have got Sassuolo next game, so that's going to be a really good game of football. I love Berardi as well. He's very underrated from Sassuolo.
De Zerbi is right now, when Gasperini was first getting started and people were starting to notice him in Italy. Right now, Gasperini feels like at that point, De Zerbi, he feels like he's at that point where people are noticing him this season. I've watched the game that he played against Juventus early on in the season, where they went a man down, and they just played that game like, I think they played with 10 man for majority of that game, and they were playing like they had an extra man. The way they kept the ball with so much confidence, and yeah, it was Juventus at the end of the day, and they're not having a brilliant season. But for them to be so comfortable on the ball like that, it's amazing. So that's another great shout. Do you have anyone in mind, Trey?
You know what, you boys just mentioned the right people at the end of the day. I agree with you both, man. You know what? This is a bit of a sort of. This is a random one here, but I think Zidane would be a great manager for Juventus. Reason being is he's obviously done an incredible job with Madrid twice, and his sort of tactics, his new way of playing football now, I think, like Musa was saying and like what you were saying as well, Juventus need new ideas. They need something different, someone with experience, and I think Zizou will bring something different to Serie A. We don't know if his sort of methods are proven for Serie A football, but his sort of connection with Juventus and being an ex-player, maybe that could work in their favour. Who knows? But the names that you both mentioned, 100% agree with you. Especially Atlanta's manager. Tremendous job he's done with the club, especially losing a player like Gomez. That for me, the way they've been able to sort of bounce back, recover, they look like as if they didn't need him in the first place. But if they had him now, imagine where they would be right now if they still had Gomez.
Exactly. Can you just imagine where they would be? I agree with you. But Zidane, that is an interesting shout, because every time that he gets asked in the press conferences in Spain, it doesn't look like his future is going to be there at Real Madrid next season. So, and I like the fact that he's a bit pragmatic. So he can play football like the way they wanted with Sarri, and maybe the way they were going with Pirlo. So, yeah, and at the end of the day, he's also a bit defensive, so he can adjust to that Italian football. So great shout if they can get Zidane, but that would depend on them getting Champions League football. Moose?
I have to say it should be their number one target. He's ex-Juventus, and he always says, "Oh, like they've got a special place in my heart." I think Juventus fans love Zidane more than Zidane loves Juve, but you can't go there and not have something for them. He definitely has some passion for Juventus, so that is a great shout, Trey. I agree with you there, and I think he could do well there as well.
If we just move on to Spain, everything is looking like things are looking better for Ronald Koeman and Barcelona. You know, they've won their first trophy now under Ronald Koeman. This is a guy who has won them the Champions League as a captain in 1994 with that amazing goal in Wembley. Now, it looks like with the new president, Laporta, that everything looks much better. Messi looks happier. Laporta is celebrating with the players. The young kids are looking like they're having fun, like all of a sudden. And some of the goals that they're scoring, just beautiful goals. So yesterday we've had the final, the Copa del Rey final. They've won it so comfortably, 4-0. What did you guys make of the game?
Messi, what a goal that was. Did you see it? Unbelievable. The guys...
Classy.
Who else can do that in the world?
Do you know what the funny thing is, yeah? It's not even his best goal against Athletic Bilbao in a Copa del Rey final. Just think about that. It's
crazy.
Ridiculous what this guy is able to do. But carry on, Moose.
Yeah, I mean, look, they won 4-0 and they made it look easier than it was, because in the first half, they weren't putting the chances away. And Bilbao, they know they can just suck in and get one goal. They win the final. So Barcelona have to have some credit there. They won 4-0, so they done really well. I think now they have to turn their attention swiftly back to La Liga, though, because that title race is hotting up as well.
Yeah, I have to disagree with Moose. Messi, he just showed his class, especially in that final. You can even see after the celebrations how the players were sort of taking pictures with Messi after the game. He's definitely a massive influence, and for me, if Barcelona could sort of stay in that momentum and just in that sort of good mood, having Messi happy, start building the team around him, and start working on the defense as well, I reckon Barcelona could be a team that would be one that we have to look out for definitely in the future, because definitely we can all admit that Barcelona right now, they're in their rebuilding phase, they're in the transition period. So for them to sort of win a trophy during this rebuilding phase is tremendous, and hopefully we can see Messi just happy again, because when Messi's happy, football looks beautiful, and you saw the class that he produced, especially in that. His goal was just breathtaking. It was good to see.
Someone else that really impressed me in this game was the performance of Antoine Griezmann, who we haven't seen a lot of this season, but he really has stepped in this final, and finally it looked like this is the guy that they signed to be that sort of assistance to Messi. Like, instead of focusing on Messi a lot, in the first half, like you said, Moose, I agree with you. They were finding it difficult to go in behind them. But what they did in the second half is Griezmann was making more runs in between the lines, in behind the defense, and they had to think about, like, do we have to deal with Griezmann or do we think about Messi? And Alba was able to, cut the ball back to Messi, and Messi was just able to finish it like easily as he does it. So the fact that they were able to get the best out of Griezmann in this system gives me like an idea of what Ronald Koeman wants to do for next season and why they should keep him for next season. Because right now you see the way they play in football, it's magical. Like, it looks like the Barcelona back in the days where they were passing machines. You look at the goal where De Jong and Messi combined. That reminded me of like back in the days when Messi was combining with Dani Alves on the right, and now De Jong is sort of like creating that partnership with him. It's just amazing. And I wasn't expecting this from Griezmann in this final, but also I was impressed with De Jong. I was also impressed with Pedri. Like I said to you guys, in the previous episode when we were talking about the young kids that we're excited to see in the Euros, he was one that I was looking forward to. And in this game, he really showed why we should be excited about him. Just as a final point, guys, about this game, looking at everything that you've seen now, looking at what Laporta was doing in the celebrations, can you see Messi staying at Barcelona next season?
I think he's going to stay there for his whole career. I think everyone talks a lot about it. It's an always ongoing discussion, but I don't know. I think that he is just loyal to Barcelona. He joined there as a young kid and he's grown up there. And now you've seen the way they were celebrating with him. How can he leave? They were all taking a picture with this guy. Like, it's abnormal. But he is a Totti of Barcelona. So maybe he should get appreciation for that as well. If he stays, I'll like it. But I don't know for sure. But that's my gut feeling that Messi's going to stay.
At the beginning, let's say at the start of the season, it was very likely that he was going to go. I reckon that was the point where if he was going to go, he would have left at the beginning of the season. Now that sort of things have settled, he's obviously played under Ronald Koeman. The energy is a bit different now. They've won a trophy. So they say that when you win a trophy, that's like a catalyst to bigger and better things. And I think that them winning the trophy was good for the club. And I think Messi's happy. And when Messi's happy, Barcelona's happy. And when Barcelona's happy, the fans are happy and the community's happy. So I think it's a good move for him to stay. And we don't see enough players be loyal to one club, and it'll be good for him to sort of stay at one club, retire, and be a legend, which he's already a legend anyway, but him just staying there would be amazing.
I think Messi staying at Barcelona would really cement his status as a proper legendary, figure, an icon in Barcelona's history, because not only has he brought this team so much success on the pitch, he now has the opportunity to lead this new generation into a new world, into new realities. Like you see the young kids, like Dest, and the club is really investing into this, like Ansu Fati, Pedri, and he can be the leader for that. So for him to stay there right now, there's a clear project. I don't think that they're gonna go on to sign players like invest so much money into madness like Griezmann, Coutinho, Dembele, just ridiculous amounts of money. I don't think they're gonna do that anymore. I think they're gonna try and build a nice little project that's going to take a little bit of time, but with Messi there, it might make it a little bit faster. Now, that was the Copa del Rey final. If we go to the La Liga now, we've had Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid both playing this Sunday afternoon. Atletico Madrid played in the early game. They won 5-0. And then Real Madrid also played about 2 hours ago now. They've drawn 0-0 with Getafe. Now, that means Atletico Madrid are on top of the league with, I think, 3 points above Real Madrid. Barcelona have a game in hand because they played the Copa del Rey this weekend. It's heating up now. Like, it's getting to a point where whatever game that you lose is going to count a lot. So, I'm just going to ask you guys, because this keeps changing every week. Do you still see that Atletico Madrid will win this league, or is it Real Madrid, or have you changed your mind yet?
It's actually a really tough question. They're all really bunched together, and you think Madrid, they've got maybe extra games with Champions League, so they could have a bit of fatigue there coming into their team. And then Atletico is like, you're not in the best form despite the win. Before that, you'd had a really bad period, so it's like, can Simeone pull out the grit for 7 games and knuckle down? It's theirs to lose, though, still. And then Barcelona on a high from winning the Copa del Rey. It's tight. I said Real Madrid last week, so I'm going to stick with Real Madrid.
Yeah, that's exactly what I asked you to see if you changed your mind or not. Carry on, Trey.
You know what? I have to agree with Miss. It's such a difficult question. That's why I had to pause for a second because Barcelona winning the Copa Rey, it completely sort of changed the momentum because, like I said previously, a trophy is like a catalyst. You can use that as momentum, that belief, that little umph you need to sort of keep on and try and push on for bigger and better things. And Atletico Madrid with Simeone are just known for grit. Can they hold out to secure the title? Real Madrid, like Moose said, they're still in the Champions League, so they're still going to be. There's going to be players that are going to be fatigued, so it's a really difficult one. I'm not going to lie. I'm in the fence,
easy.
but I'm gonna agree with Moose. I'm gonna go for Madrid. I just feel that they've got enough players, especially to do the job in a long haul. So I'm going for Madrid to win the title.
Last week, I said, was it last week or the week before? I'm not sure. I said that I would back Atletico Madrid to, finish it off and see it, and just finish off the title and actually win, because it's in their hands. Like if they win all their games, they win the title. So I backed them to do it. But now I haven't seen the way Barcelona played in the Copa del Rey. I changed my mind. And I'm entitled to do that, week by week basis. Now I'm going with Barcelona to win the league title. So we'll see that. Now, I've just wanted to ask you guys about, there's a situation with João Felix. If we can just speak about that a little bit quickly. He hasn't played in this game, and he doesn't look like Atletico Madrid or Simeone are getting the best out of him. Now, do you guys see him staying there next season, just quickly, or do you see him, joining another club?
Why did he go to Atletico Madrid under Simeone? It doesn't suit his game. That guy needs to come to the Premier League. That's what I'll say about him. So I hope he does. Because he's got mad talent.
Which club would you suggest for him?
Arsenal, of course. He could come there.
Be realistic.
I don't know. To be honest, how much did they buy him for? 110 mil.
126 million to be precise.
Oh my word! Well, he's got to go for something around that. So it's only City or Chelsea.
Yeah.
Maybe United.
Yeah. It's a funny thing that you mentioned Chelsea. Yes, they've got the resources, but I would recommend him to go to Chelsea. I think. Well, then again, they got Kai Havertz and Mount and Ziyech, just so much talent. But I think he can play that false 9 role that they want to use Havertz, for example. João Felix would fit that Thomas Tuchel role perfectly, because I think that he's obviously not your Drogba, he's not your Diego Costa, but he's a bit he's good with the ball. He can get in behind. And he can be a very good centre forward for Thomas Tuchel in this current system that they're using. So, with the crosses from Reece James, his heading could be excellent, and Mason Mount and Ziyech, all this creativity around him. So that is one club that I would recommend him to go to. Trey?
You know what? The João Felix situation is such a strange one because. I agree with Moose. It's just, why did he go there in the first place, man? But Atletico Madrid, they'll prepare to pay that sort of money, man. So, what my gut feeling is telling me. My gut feeling is telling me that they're going to stick with him in Atletico Madrid because they paid so much for him. They're going to have to find a way to incorporate him into the system. Maybe the whole adapting to La Liga did sort of come into play. Maybe the next season will be a better season for him, and I really do hope we do see him playing more. He's a very talented player, especially if you look at the players that Portugal have at their disposal is absolutely crazy. So just to see him playing at his best, hopefully he can play more games at Atletico. His style of football, the way he plays, he's fast, the way he dribbles the ball, his awareness. He can, like you said, he can play that false nine role really well, especially under Thomas Tuchel, which I could see him playing really well under. And let's just see what happens. Anyway, there's only a few teams that could afford him. I don't think Man United would be going for him. Even though I'd love to have that sort of player, but we don't actually. Actually, I'm gonna reverse the question to you. Would he suit playing for Man United?
He would if they didn't have Bruno Fernandes. I think the very fact that they have Bruno Fernandes and the way that we've seen Cavani just fit into this team like a glove, it tells me that what they need is exactly a young Cavani. Now, as good as João Felix is, he doesn't strike me as a Cavani replacement. So for the system and the way that United play, the risks that they like to take with Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, those little passes in behind, the crosses, just someone who would press the defense, just press and press. And so I would go with like Dominic Calvert-Lewin or someone like that. But that's a conversation for another day. Now, if we just move on slightly to Germany, we've had a change of, we're going to have a change of manager in Bayern Munich. They've won this weekend 3-2 against Wolfsburg. Jamal Musiala, one of the most incredible talents. He's the youngest player to score 6 league goals in Germany right now. Now, after the game, Hansi Flick came out and he said that he told the players after the PSG game that he's going to walk away from this team and he's going to end his contract at the end of the season. Now, this comes at the end of what has been a very successful time for him, even though it was a really short period of time where he's won them every single trophy there is. He's been the perfect manager for them. Who can you guys see them bringing in, like a manager of maybe Allegri's type, or who can you see?
I've seen him linked with Bayern actually, Allegri, recently. But yeah, that Bayern manager current, he's been fantastic. He's won everything. If you're a club in need of a manager, you should be going for him. He's done a crazy job in that year. But yeah, I could see Allegri at Bayern. They have a history of the Italian manager as well. They had Trapattoni back in the day as well.
But yeah, like in Germany, it's quite funny. Like coaches seem to be moving around like players. Like you got Hansi Flick now. He's gonna go and get the German national team. I don't think he's gonna get. He's gonna go to a club level because Joachim Löw is gonna leave the German national team at the end of the summer. After the tournament, so Hansi Flick is going to go in there. Then you look at Bayern, who they're going to go to. Maybe someone like Nagelsmann from RB Leipzig. And then you look at Borussia Dortmund. Who are they bringing in? They're bringing Marco Rose from Borussia Mönchengladbach. And Mönchengladbach are bringing in a manager from a different Bundesliga team. And you're just looking at their coaches, like the way they're moving it's absolutely hysterical. There's nothing that I've seen at any other level.
Absolutely crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I agree with you. I reckon Nagelsmann will be the sort of perfect fit for Bayern Munich. I feel that. I think, me personally, I think he'll be there more for the long term. Obviously, Hansi, he's done an incredible job for such a short period. It reminds me of you just hooking up with a girl on a one night stand and just leaving the next morning. He's obviously done a quickie and left, man. But he's been very, very successful. He's done a great job. So Nagelsmann definitely, in my opinion, will be Bayern Munich's manager, and we see Hans definitely going to Germany and replacing Joachim Löw, who has done obviously an exceptional job for Germany.
Yeah, he is a great candidate, Trey. Definitely, I agree with that, and it fits the bill. It's a smooth maneuver. Allegri is coming from Italy. There's a change in language, so yeah, it makes sense. The Leipzig manager, definitely.
Yeah, he's a young coach, one of the best upcoming coaches there is, and any team who would get him would be absolutely lucky. I have seen him being linked with Tottenham. I have no idea why he would want to go there when he's got the likes of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and even, dare I say, Man United after him. So, yeah, we'll see. Now, yeah, I mean, guys, we're talking about football here. So, by maybe next season, or maybe in 2 seasons' time, we might not even have football the way we see it right now. We might not have Champions League football. We might have even a different format of the Champions League football. I don't know why they want to make all these changes. Everything is perfect the way there is. And obviously, you guys know where I'm going with this. So it's the European Super League. Now, today, it has been announced that 5 or 6 of the biggest clubs in England have signed up to join a European Super League, where they would break away from their current league in the Premier League and join that, which means they're not going to take part of the Champions League. We also know that Real Madrid and Barcelona are also into this. PSG and Bayern Munich have still not confirmed that they're taking part of this new tournament or this new Super League. I have to say that I'm completely disappointed with this, and I don't know what you guys think, but I'll let you have the floor.
It's disgraceful, in my opinion. Definitely, it's a league essentially that has no relegation. For me, you're just seeing some of the top owners in professional football just looking for a way they could monetize a tournament, so it will help the clubs. And for me, it's just disgraceful, in my opinion. I don't want to see Manchester United being involved in such a bad tournament. I don't know what's your views on that, Moose?
Oh, I'm with you, definitely. I don't like it at all because there's no passion in that game. It's like you're just playing random teams. You don't have to go to like all these grounds across England and stuff. Like, you need the loyalty. Like, football's a game of tradition, and like, I think it's just I don't like it.
Yeah, it takes away the very essence of football. Like, there is a statement that the Premier League released, and there's a quote that really stood out for me. It was saying that football is based on merits and competition, not based on what you've done in the past and what success you've had in the past, or how much a global fan base you have. So it's a complete no-no for me, and I don't think they're going to do it simply because of the reaction that we've had from the fans. And even in this country, the Prime Minister has got involved, and there's not many times that I would agree with Boris Johnson, but this is one of them. So yeah, the Premier League also against it, Sky are against it. So, they're protecting their rights and their own needs, but at the end of the day, us as fans, this is not something that we should absolutely be encouraging, and we have to stay away from it as much as possible. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to see this happening, because money and greed and investment from foreign owners that have absolutely no connection to any football club whatsoever. For them, it's all about how they can make more money. So if they find another opportunity where they can get PSG, Real Madrid, Man United, Bayern Munich, Man City playing every week in, week out against each other, which means that more people will turn out to listen to watch these games, they're going to take the opportunity. It's just there for them. So I'm not surprised to see it happening, but I am obviously disappointed that my own club, Man United, are involved in this, because I see United as a club that's bigger than, just one of these greedy clubs. That we're not like Chelsea. We're not like PSG or City, these clubs that are built on just money. Man United was built on proper football structure, like from the ground, from grassroots. Scouting levels, and Alex Ferguson building this team to the dynasty that it has become. So it's a real disappointment. And at the end of the day, I don't see it happening. Like I said, but time will tell to see what will happen in the future.
Yeah, just to sort of add to what you're saying, I just think it's absolutely just disgraceful. It just shows you that people, like you said, that are not connected to football, these owners, the fact that they came together and they just thought, you know what, we feel that this would be great for our clubs. What was the conversation like? Like, what happened to the tradition, to the morals of what happened to the values of it's so disappointing to see, especially that Man United, Liverpool, these top historic teams have agreed to do this. It just shows you that some of these owners that are obviously in the top, they don't care about football at the end of the day. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about the cultures. They don't care about the communities. All they care about is the money, unfortunately. And I hope that this tournament doesn't go ahead.
I saw that there's a potential that if they play in this tournament, the players, that they won't be able to play in the national team. So hopefully that puts the whole idea off.
The timing of the news as well, like that's what happened as well. The timing was dreadful. How they announce the news during the game? Like, what the hell? They could have at least waited for a period where there's no matches on, talk about it, and then they're just throwing it in. Like, it's absolutely dreadful. It was, especially during the United game. And then they threw Oli under the bus, basically, and asked him, look, what was your thoughts about it? What would you expect him to say on live TV?
I think at the moment, as we're speaking, they're releasing statements about this, and we'll keep you up to date about this on all our socials. But yeah, that's all we've got time for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and always be sharing the podcast. We're on all podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcast, and we're also on YouTube now, so you can see our faces. But that's all we've got time for today. Moose and Trey, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I look forward to doing another episode with you next week.